Hello everyone, my name is Jack Chi, and today I will be talking about life in the Southern California surf zone, with a focus on the California Corbina, as that was one of the organisms that I saw at the pier that day. And another fish species you have to wait and see. I chose this topic because of a personal connection I had with the Newport Beach, because I had a lot of fun there that day. I was doing my field trip project there as well. And now this assignment. So yeah, let's try and connect these things to the what we learned about in class. All right. Uh, oh, okay. My connection to this topic. So I took this photo right here at the Newport Beach Pier. While I was there, I noticed a fishing guide, which was shown right here, of course, and there was a lot of fish species there. These are like fishing species that are commonly found at the pier. I've seen a few of these get caught up when people were out there just fishing, and I was just like, "Oh, can I take a picture of that?" But I think when I went, there weren't too many, but I got a few. So yeah, seeing these fish, I'm like, "Whoa, how did they survive here?" I mean, like there's all those fishing rods, and what was like people like have been they've been like catching them like ooh, one after the other. Like, how are they still alive? But yeah, even though in that constantly changing surf zone, well, it's a struggle. Yeah. So yeah, this really helps me to see how much bi marine biodiversity exists along our local coastline. All right. What is the surf zone? So as you can see, the surf zone is the area where waves break near the shoreline. It's like where when we go into the ocean and we're just getting like hit by the water for fun, just all those kids. I did that too. It's like where those waves break near the shoreline. So it's a very dynamic marine environment because these waves constantly move all that sand and water. So organisms here, they have to deal with strong strong wave action, like all the sand and like the changing tides. Like some waves are obviously like a lot bigger than the others, but yeah. So a lot of these conditions can be quite challenging actually. So and a lot of organisms they have to adapt to these types of environments or else they can't really survive. So that is something each organism needs to keep in mind and just adapt, you know? Yeah, just all the ocean stuff. All right. So, why is the surf zone important? The surf zone plays an important ecological role and it provides a habitat for many fish and other marine organisms. Also, it's also like a nursery area. Like, let's see, like if you guys see Nemo, they had like little nursery areas like a Sea Anemone. So yeah, that's something like that. Just relate to a cartoon a little bit. But yeah, this is where the young fish can grow and develop. It would connect the land and ocean ecosystems by transferring the nutrient and energy between them. So even though it just looks like waves hitting the shore, they're just kind of like transferring um nutrients like back and forth, like a recycle system, you know? Yeah, so it's like they have nutrients in the ocean that the people on land might want, and land has resources that the ocean species would need as well. Next one is so right here, this is without my face in it. So so these are some common species that are found at Newport Beach. The one right here, let's see, that one, there's the California Corbina. That was one I saw on that day. And there's also like a lot more species like the halibut, the leopard sharks, the bat rays, and croakers. These species, they all really share like the same habitat, but they have different strategies. Each fish has its own strategy to survive in the surf zone. And next slide, we'll talk about one of them. So this is my species, my first species. I want to show you guys. It's the California Corbina. The California Corbina is the scientific name of the California Corbina. I was messed that up a little bit. Is the Menti Cerhus undulatus, and it is a member of the croaker family. And and it is very commonly found along the coastlines of Southern California. And they can grow like really big. They can get like 30 inches in length. I'm like, oh, that's pretty big. A lot of meat on that. And yeah, I'm told it tastes pretty good. According to the guy that caught this one, I did not catch this one. It was the a fisherman who caught it like a few hours ago, and unfortunately, as you can see, it's kind of dead. But yeah, this is the California Corbina in a bucket that I saw. And so some fun facts about the California Corbina are that they spend a lot of their time in the shallow water near the shore, because they usually search for food near the sand. And wild and they are super closely associated with the surf zone. And this is a very good example of a fish that is adapted to the um, surf zone and its challenging coastal environments where all the waves are breaking and all that stuff. And we'll talk about the adaptation soon. Okay, another picture. This is a live Corbina, I think, but it is a drawing, but I don't want to keep on showing you the same one. So the California Corbina have a bunch of adaptations that can help them survive in the surf zone. Remember, the surf zone is very dangerous, or just not dangerous, it's just very rough on for many animals, marine animals. So one adaptation is their streamlined body, which this body would allow them to swim efficiently through the breaking waves. Because like if your body was like built for this, it would be a lot easier for going through the waves. Okay. There's another adaptation that they have is their coloration. So as you can see, these Corbinas, they have like a very unique coloration. This coloration would help them camouflage and um avoid predators by staying in sandy habitats. Also, they have sensitive feeding structures. Like they have like some structures that I'll talk about soon, that help them locate prey beneath the buried sand. So they would have to like this is another adaptation they need to survive in the surf zone. Finally, the California Corbina have a very strong swimming ability. They can move through very turbulent waters while searching for food. To survive in this zone, you need to have strength and um, strength of swimming. Yeah, just swimming and a bunch of adaptations like the streamlined body and strong swimming ability with camouflage coloration to help you hide from predators and having a good feeding structure so you can eat and survive, right? So the California Corbina, they eat a lot of things. So they are a carnivorous fish. And they feed mainly on sand crabs, marine or worms, clams, and other small crustaceans. But most importantly, sand crabs, they make up a large portion of their diet. And the Corbina play a major role in the food web because they transfer energy from the smaller invertebrates to the larger ones. They're kind of like the let's see. They're kind of like sea urchins eating kelp and kelp being eaten by sea urchins and the otters they eat the sea urchins. The California Corbina are like the sea urchins, that example. So they get eaten by larger predators like sharks, sea lions, and seabirds. This makes them a very important link within the surf zone ecosystem because they eat stuff and then they provide food for larger predators and also humans too. That picture I showed you, he caught a fish. He'll be cooking it good, like nice and grilled fish. And grilled fish is always good. So, like many in marine habitats, there are challenges facing surf zone ecosystems. Pollution and plastic debris can harm marine organisms and reduce water quality. Coastal development can alter natural habitats and increase erosion. Climate change is affecting ocean temperatures and sea levels, while overfishing can disrupt food webs by um, removing important species. That is not good. These are challenges that can affect both the California corvina and the broader ecosystem that they would depend on. There are recent research on the Southern California coastal ecosystems have found have focused mainly on marine heat waves along the California coast. These unusually warm ocean conditions are becoming more and more common. And this is bad because marine heat waves would influence fish behavior, alter species distribution, and affect prey availability. These changes would affect the California corvina and among other fish species that may depend on regular water temperature levels. These NOAA maps show sea surface temperature anomalies along the west coast. The colors represent where is warmer or cooler than average. This is how the NOAA helps scientists to monitor changing ocean conditions and envi- and help us in this class too, understand how environmental changes can affect marine ecosystems. NOAA monitors sea surface temperatures throughout California's coastal waters. Temperature is an important abiotic factor because it affects fish behavior, feeding activity, and species distribution. By tracking these conditions, however, scientists can understand the ecosystem health and identify long-term climate-related changes that would affect the surf zone habitats. All right, and so we have learned a lot in this class, and I will have to go over our connections to marine biology. So this this topic that I chose connects to several concepts that we discussed throughout the course. For example, the day two example was the when we learned about waves, tides, and abiotic factors that shaped the coastal habitats. In day seven, we discussed how fish adaptations and how body structures can help species survive in different environments. And finally, I didn't write this, but day 11, we learned about how ecosystems and food webs and biodiversity all relate to the California corvina's ecological role. Yeah, so those are just a few of the examples that we know that connects to what we learned in class. All right, quiz time. So let's see if everyone was paying attention. So, what adaptations helps the California corvina locate prey hidden in the sand? Were you paying attention? We shall see. All right, I'll give you guys a few seconds. One, two, five. All right. And the answer is the sensitive feeding structures. You guys remember they have sensitive feeding structures to dig through the sand, right? All right. Next one. Oh, okay. What is the primary food source of the California corvina? Is it kelp, jellyfish, sand crabs, or sea stars? I'll give you guys a few seconds to think about that. And the answer is sand crabs. This is the one that makes up most of their diet. Remember, guys, the sand crabs among like other species like the marine worms and little crustaceans, but sand crabs were the main one. All right, and this is my references slide. So yeah, thanks you guys for watching, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you.